The car bumped along the dirt road. Inside, 5 friends laughed and sang along to the radio. Excitement filled the air. The weekend getaway had finally begun.
This place is perfect.
The 2 cabins stood nestled amongst tall trees. A lake shimmered nearby. They unloaded the car, eager to start their adventure. The first cabin housed Mark, John, and Chris. Laughter echoed as they unpacked snacks and argued over the best board games. In the smaller cabin nearby, Emily and Sarah unpacked their bags. They planned to spend their time hiking and reading by the lake. As the sun began to set, they gathered around a bonfire. Stories and jokes were exchanged. Warmth radiated from the fire, but a chill settled in the air. Unbeknownst to the friends, danger lurked in the shadows, watching their every move. A sudden crash shattered the night. Silence fell over the group.
What was that?
Sarah whispered, fear creeping into her voice. Another crash, louder this time, came from the direction of the larger cabin. Panic surged through them. John's terrified scream pierced the night. They rushed towards the cabin, hearts pounding in their chests. The door hung open, splintered. Inside, a scene of chaos greeted them. Furniture lay overturned and broken glass glittered on the floor. Mark wrestled with a shadowy figure, desperation in his eyes. Another figure, wielding a crowbar, advanced on Chris.
Run!
Mark's voice was hoarse with effort. He shoved the attacker away, buying precious seconds. Adrenaline surged through Emily. She grabbed a heavy cast-iron pan from the fireplace and charged into the cabin. With a scream, she swung the pan, connecting with the attacker's head. He crumpled to the floor unconscious. But the victory was short-lived. The other attacker, enraged, turned his attention towards her.
We have to get out of here.
Sarah, fear momentarily forgotten, grabbed a burning log from the fireplace and threw it at the attacker. He roared in pain as the flames caught his clothes. Taking advantage of his distraction, Chris dragged the injured Mark out of the cabin. They fled into the darkness, the sounds of their pursuers' enraged shouts echoing behind them. They ran until their lungs burned and their legs screamed for mercy. The forest offered some cover, but they knew they weren't safe yet. As they huddled behind a fallen tree, catching their breath, the horrifying reality sank in. John was gone. So were Emily and Sarah. The early morning light revealed the gruesome aftermath. They found Emily and Sarah a short distance away. They hadn't made it far. Tears streamed down their faces as they grieved for their friends. Mark and Chris were the only survivors of the horrifying night. They carried the weight of their loss, the memories forever etched in their minds. The weekend retreat had turned into a nightmare, and they were left to pick up the pieces.